Using the Salaga to Pandai District Road in the northern region of Ghana is a nightmare. Even with a good vehicle, navigating Pandai is very difficult. And as the dust settles, we are greeted with this. Idon Kerr is in pain. She can hardly balance on the motorbike. We learned despite her laboring throughout the night, the baby would just not come out. She had just started bleeding, so her husband and sister carried her on the motorbike to the hospital. At a point, we couldn't bear simply filming a woman in labor groaning on a motorbike.
Okay, then let's go, Khalid.
It takes more than 1 hour on the motorbike to the Pandai Polyclinic, the nearest health facility. But with our four-wheel vehicle, we could make it there in 45 minutes. Even in the relative comfort of our vehicle, Idon Crow still winces in pain as we move on the road riddled with potholes. Her sister clutched her firmly to give her support, but the labor pains were excruciating.
The hospital left or right? Okay.
Eventually we got to the hospital, but we could not use the main entrance because of construction works there.
Mama, Chief, sit down, sit down. You sit down, sit down. You sit down.
You relax, so that we can get the wheelchair quickly get there. So we're just waiting for a wheelchair to carry Idon Crow into the hospital. We couldn't get access to the main entrance because motorbikes had blocked the place and there was no access. And so currently we are waiting for a wheelchair so we can carry her through to the hospital so that she can safely deliver.
Let her come down small. If not, she's heavy. You can't lift her. Hold on. Sit down. Can I sit?
Interestingly, we were about the first vehicle in a long while to bringing a patient, as most of them arrived there on motorbikes, the most common means of transportation. We finally make it to the delivery ward and the medical team takes over.
The baby is coming.
It has been 30 minutes already and Idon Crow's baby is still yet to come out. Her situation begins to deteriorate. The only obstetrician there is away for medical training in the regional capital, Tamale.
It's coming with the legs.
According to the Ghana Health Service protocol for fetal distress, as is happening in Idon Crow's case, the nurses are supposed to call for help, arrange for an ambulance and refer her to a better equipped facility.
The baby is alive, but because of the way she wasn't cooperating and the position of the baby that I wasn't getting it. But when they did the scan, it's still alive.
But vehicles are rare here, and ambulances are actually a lot harder to come by. So once again, our vehicle comes to the rescue. At the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital, the only doctor available had just started an emergency cesarean section, so Idonkro had to wait her turn.
Madam, it's the tomato here.
After observation, the midwife realized that she is too fatigued to push, so it is scheduled an emergency cesarean section. Unfortunately, the hospital does not have drugs for the emergency surgery. What time do you think this woman will start?
It depends on the time
the doctor will finish.
No, they will bring the drugs from town.
These people?
Drug, but you don't have drugs. What kind of drugs are
The infusions.
Like Rangers, normal saline, and then
you don't have
the different. You know?
Yes.
How? What happened?
But the insurance is owing us and they are not paying us. For the past 18 or 16 months, the insurance is not paying us. So we are doing our own papa to run the place.
So Idonkro's husband, Jagri, is asked to get the essential medication for surgery, also some 5 minutes drive away. The obstetrician cannot hear any fetal heartbeats. He's scared the baby may be doing badly and decides to concentrate on saving the mother.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you once again. We commit this case into your hand. Come and take control. We thank you for this chance to be this Okay, good. So, can I go? You need to take a brush.
It's a boy, and everyone is excited. Idonkro, fortunately, does not end up as one of Ghana's grim maternal mortality statistics. In 2016, out of every 1,000 live births, 378 women died. This figure could be equated to 42 9-seater trotro urban buses crashing and killing all passengers. In northern region alone, 136 maternal deaths were recorded in 2016. Jagri was excited. He named the boy right away.
Cobbinah Joy.
Idonkro is also doing well.
That is not better. It's not like yesterday.
Yesterday, how was she feeling?
Careful, we are not professional. That yesterday she was in danger. She was in danger. That God bless you. You should keep it up.
Dr. Sonla Joseph is glad the surgery was successful, but he's not entirely happy because of the way patients such as Idonkro are made to purchase their own medication, including those covered by the National Health Insurance.
Since July 2016 up to today, in fact, the last submission we made was September. September submissions was made 8th of November 2017. And we submitted July 2016, 20th of September 2016 last year. And up to now, no payments have been made from this. And so National Health Insurance owed this small facility over 700,000 Ghana cedis. We rely heavily on what insurance pay us to manage the running of the hospital. That is where we buy medicines from, that is where we buy consumables, And that is how we run the administration of the institution. And so just imagine that for over 15, 16 months, we have not been reimbursed from the National Health Insurance Authority. What are we going to use to buy drugs, to buy consumables? One thing that we don't have is an anesthetic machine. We don't have an anesthetic machine. And if you realize yesterday, the anesthetist yesterday, when he was trying to give the spinal anesthesia, he struggled. He struggled because he had a difficult spinal anesthesia yesterday. And so it could have happened that he would have failed in getting through the spinal anesthesia. If it doesn't work, then you need to put the patient on general anesthesia. So the patient goes sleep fully, and then you have time to work on the patient. Things are going on well. Nobody is talking. But I tell you, when you rush the emergency in, if we were not able to intervene and save this woman, I am sure that the people who are not listening to us will turn their eyes towards Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital and say that no, maternal mortality has occurred. Let's go and find out what is happening there. But we struggle with the limited equipment and effort to save the lives of people. So because of that, people have forgotten that things are not well. I am appealing through you to anybody who listens to this story and is touched to come to our aid. A certain machine, averagely, if you have about 50,000, 50 to 60,000 for our level, it should be able to get us an anesthetic machine. At least this is to serve as a guarantee for quality care of our pregnant women who cannot deliver and have to go to theater.
From the public health perspective, one of the causes of maternal mortality in Ghana is delay in accessing health care. He makes reference to dangerous practice of sending patients to hospitals on motorbikes due to lack of vehicles.
It can be an obstructed labor like what you brought yesterday, that the baby cannot come out, but the labor, the contractions are going on. And so the uterus can rupture and this woman will bleeding inside. But for them, that is the only means of transportation. Now when the bleeding is so severe, the woman can get into shock. And when you get into shock, it means that your blood levels have dropped. And so blood supply to the brain is reduced. And so if it's not rectified immediately, you can die. Yeah, but they'll carry them. And the ideal thing is that if your blood levels are dropping and you are in shock, you should be in a lying position, at least for a small quantity of blood that is left to supply the brain until when you are resuscitated and the blood volumes come back to normal. The attention cannot be concentrated on some areas, leaving especially the rural areas. When even the health professionals are not willing to go there, then the few that go there, they have difficulty in getting the right equipment to save the people that we all say that we want to save. Because we are capable of rendering the services, but we are incapacitated by lack of basic things.
The district chief executive of Pandai, Kofi Takablata, says the entire district now has one functional ambulance that is stationed far away from the district capital, Pandai.
We have a lot of challenges, but the nature of our rural center is very difficult when they are transferring a patient from a chief compound to a clinic or the hospital center. You need to carry the fellow on the motorbike to the hospital. And sometimes it's very difficult, somebody who cannot sit on the motorbike. It's very difficult.
Idonkil's story definitely brings closer home how development infrastructure such as good roads and hospitals can make a difference in the lives of citizens, and the implications of government's failure to reimburse hospitals for the cost of care given patients on the National Health Insurance Scheme so they could restock basic supplies. It also brings to the fore the need for governments to invest in emergency care such as provision of ambulances. Because who knows how it would have turned out in Idonkro's case if she had to be hopping from one hospital to another on the back of a motorbike had the news crew not showed up when it did. Joojo Cobbinah, Joy News.